keep seeing this take everywhere, that GEO is just SEO, the brand new coat of paint. And honestly, that's not just wrong, it's actually dangerous. It's the kind of thing that will leave your brand invisible in the next era of search. Because here's the reality. Because right now, as I'm recording this video, over 700 million people use ChatGPT weekly, and that's growing. Perplexity is already handling 230 million queries per month, and Google AI overviews are showing up for all searches. And the way these systems decide what show up, it's an upgrade of search as we know it. It's fundamentally and architecturally different from how AI searches have worked in the past 25 years. Hi, I'm Shaf, Growth and Ops Strategist here at Embarque, and we've helped clients like MentorCruise, SnapDownloader and Growthform grow in the era of AI search. And today we're diving into why GEO isn't an SEO 2.0 version. It's a completely different game with different rules, different players, and also different ways to win. Let's start with the most important thing that people get wrong. SEO and GEO aren't cousins. They're not even distant relatives. They operate on totally different architectural technologies. So if you think about how Google works, right? When you search something on Google, Google's algorithm sorts through its index of web pages, looking at signals like keywords and backlinks. These ranking factors determine which documents and in which order they're shown. It's a sorter that simply organizes pre-existing web pages. But LLMs, on the other hand, are reasoning engines. They generate answers instead of sorting out documentation. Just last week, I searched best mentorship platforms on Google and ChatGPT. Google gave me 10 blue links, including ADP List and Cooper. But when I asked ChatGPT the same question, those names didn't even show up. And that's because both platforms have completely different decision-making processes. From Princeton and other universities studying GEO and LLMs use what's called mutual information and distributed evidence. In simple terms, they're not looking at where you rank. They're looking at how many different credible sources mention you in the relevant context. It's the difference between winning a popularity contest and winning in a jury trial. In SEO, you need to be the most popular link. In GEO, you need the strongest cumulative evidence. Brands that understand this are the ones that are winning. Take MentorCruise, one of our clients. In the exact query I searched for earlier, they showed up in both Google Search and ChatGPT. That's because we recognized the difference and we got proactive about it. Traditional SEO was built for how people type search into boxes. They're very short and they're fragmented. I mean, keywords like best pizza Brooklyn, how to tie a tie, or even weather tomorrow. And of course, we learned how to speak Google's language. So in theory, we stripped our questions down to keywords because that's what worked. But here's the wild part. According to AI's usage data, the median ChatGPT query length is 15 words, basically full sentences or longer. People are asking, I'm planning a birthday party for my 7-year-old who loves dinosaurs but is scared of loud noises. What are some good activity ideas? Nobody's ever typed that into Google, but everybody's asking this to ChatGPT. And this is what we call neutral language queries. And it completely changes what you need to optimize for. Let me give you a real example. There's a boutique hotel in Portland called Hotel Lucia Portland. The SEO strategy is solid, targeting keywords like boutique hotel Portland, best hotels downtown Portland. But when people ask ChatGPT, where should I stay in Portland? If I want somewhere stylish but not stuffy, with good coffee nearby and walking distance from restaurants, the hotel comes up because travel blogs, Reddit threads, and local sites describe it with that exact vibe, not those exact keywords. And if you go to Google, the hotel doesn't rank number 1 for stylish not stuffy hotel. That's not even a keyword that anyone would ever target. But the distributed evidence across the web, the way that real people talk about the experience, that is what AI picked up on. And this is the big shift. You're not optimizing for search queries anymore. You're optimizing for the way humans actually ask questions and describe problems. Alright then, so let's get technical. So what are people actually doing different in GEO? There are emerging strategies that have zero equivalent in traditional SEO. So strategy number 1, brand visibility engineering. This is about strategically increasing the frequency and the quality of your brand mentions across the web ecosystems. Not backlinks, mentions, in context with attribution. Here's an example. Notion doesn't just create blogs on its site. They actively participate in communities that actively discuss productivity. They get featured in comparisons and product roundups. They encourage user-generated content with templates and showcases. They also appear in podcasts and YouTube, videos that get transcribed and indexed. They also have their methodology cited in other companies' blogs. Each mention is training to the AI model. So that brings me on to strategy number 2. Answer priming content. Creating fact-style content that's specifically structured for AI citation, but not like old school SEO fact pages. I'm talking about embedding clear, quotable answers throughout your entire web ecosystem. Strategy number 3, conversational query mapping. So instead of keyword research, you're doing question research. Like, what are the actual questions that your target audience is asking AI? It's the full sentence question people ask AI in your space. One startup that I know used this approach and discovered that people were asking, what's the difference between competitor and their product? For teams under 10 people, that specific question variant for teams under 10 people wasn't showing up in traditional keyword research, but it was being asked to AI 100 times per month. They then created content that answered this question specifically. And guess what? They started to appear in AI searches. So strategy number 4, multi-turn conversational design. Here's something that SEO never had to deal with, and that is follow-up questions. Because when someone goes onto Google, each search is totally independent. But when someone's on AI, it's actually a conversation. What's a good CRM for small businesses? Then they might ask, okay, but what if we specifically need good email integration? And then the follow-up question from that, and does it work well with tools like Slack and Asana? Your geo strategy needs to anticipate these conversational threads. So the big question is, how do you stay relevant through a 5-minute conversation, not just a single query? At Embarque, we're creating what we call conversational content paths, interconnected content pieces that can satisfy multi-turn queries, each building on the last. And that brings me on to part number 4, the measurement paradox. Now let's talk what's driving marketers crazy, and that's how do you measure the success of GEO? With SEO, it was relatively straightforward. Rankings, click-through rates, and conversions. And we also have 25 years of established metrics. But in GEO, we're measuring something completely different. Answer inclusion and model recall. Think about it, right? If someone asks ChatGPT and your brand is the one being mentioned, but they never actually click through your site, do you win or do you lose? According to traditional analytics, you get 0 traffic, 0 conversions, you're basically invisible. But you've just influenced a potential customer's consideration set. You got brand awareness. You build credibility by being endorsed by AI. Some companies are calling this AI impression share. It's the percentage of relevant AI queries that your brand appears in a generated response. And according to the data, companies that are tracking this are seeing a 10 to 20x more AI impressions than website visits. The influence is happening at a scale that traditional analytics completely miss. That being said, there still is some overlap with traditional measurement. At Embarque, we set up a GA4 Looker dashboard to track referral traffic, conversion events, and engagement spikes from AI traffic, from AI-driven sources. But let's be clear, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The real shift is happening out the scope of traditional analytics. And this brings me on to part number 5, the coexistence strategy. And here's the important caveat. I'm not saying abandon traditional SEO. That would be just as stupid as saying GEO is just SEO. The smart play is to understand that these two are complementary to each other, but distinct strategies that require different approaches. Think of it like this. SEO is like owning real estate. Specific rankings for specific queries. GEO, on the other hand, is about being part of a knowledge base, appearing in synthesized answers across many spaces. And the truth is, you need both. Your SEO brings people to your site who want to visit directly. Your GEO influences people who are in research mode, comparing options, and trying to understand their problem. And the companies winning right now are doing both, SEO and GEO, but they're not confusing the two. Our client Mentorcruise is a great example. They have phenomenal SEO. They rank for tons of mentorship and career-related queries. But they also have massive visibility in communities, constant mentions in startup podcasts, and regular features in business educational content. That's a blog that gets cited by other business publications. Their SEO captures the bottom of funnel, and their GEO captures the entire search and consideration stage. GEO isn't just SEO with a new name. It's a fundamental shift in how information is discovered and how brands get mentioned. SEO optimizes for rankings in a sorted list. GEO optimizes for inclusion in generated knowledge. SEO targets keywords and GEO targets conversations. SEO focuses on your domain, while GEO focuses on your distributed presence. SEO measures clicks, while GEO measures influence. And the companies that understand this distinction, and they're the ones that will be cited when someone asks AI for help with a query that you can solve. At Embarque, we're already helping our clients, like Mentacrew, SnapDownloader, and Growform, win visibility in AI search. And the truth is, we can help you too. So if you're ready to get serious about GEO, there's a link in the description. Click that and you'll book a call and speak to our team. And if you want more insights on SEO, GEO, and all the new trends that are happening, don't forget to follow the channel for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.